What's good, Relocation Football League fans? It's your boy Smitty here with a highly anticipated video. This was going to be much shorter than usual due to the fact that, this is a sliders, but really there's no changes to the sliders. This is just our settings for the Relocation Football League on how we get our games and pretty much the stuff to go out, to come out as great as they have been. I mean, next-gen gameplay has been the best I think the RFL's ever played on. Of course, you still got those Madden, little issues and things, but hey, it's a video game, man. Things happen. So let's go ahead and dive into the settings. Like I said, things will be fairly fast, man. I did not make any changes in the main menu. The main menu is all at default. The difficulty, I believe, is at all pro or whatever. Just to show you that, just in case those guys feel like the main menu probably changes the gameplay in the franchise. Who knows? It might, but from what we've seen, things have been great. So let's go ahead and look at the gameplay. Yep, see, everything's at default here, and everything is of course at default there as well. Looking at the game options, I just got it on base default, man. Simulation, all pro, the basic stuff that comes with the game off rip. Even the injuries at 10, 50, 50. So I made no changes whatsoever in the main menu. So I guess that's it for that section. And in the last section, man, it's literally been hectic. A lot of stuff going on in the RFL, recording games, graphics and things of that nature. Really does not give you a lot of time to work with, which is why I really haven't had the time to even really sit down and make this video. Finally was able to squeeze in some time real fast. And let's go ahead and get to it. So this is the ARC file of the RFL. Let's go ahead and dive into the settings on what I have the settings at. So looking at the commissioner settings and of the league. So we run our league on all pro simulation. These can be whatever you want, the instant trade, whatever you want your league to be for CPU versus CPU gameplay. You set all this up to how you want it. I got everything on. And so we play with superstar abilities, the X factors and all that, but we take off the accuracy abilities because of course it makes the quarterbacks too accurate, and we've seen that's really made our quarterbacks a lot more realistic in terms of percentages, which we've had problems with in years prior. So good thing that that's no longer an issue. But we'll talk about some other things. Looking at this, I got my edit control only for me. Commissioners should only be able to change that. And of course, if you're looking, we've already got a video on relocation, but if you're looking to relocate your team, set this setting to all users only. You should be straight. We got the injuries on, yada yada. But the main course that is different this year that I think you need to pay attention to is this cooldown and call play limit. So we did have the play call cooldown at 1, but I ended up turning it off because it did force some plays that should not be getting called in games, if you get what I mean, like faking field goal kicks too much, which it still happens at times, or just calling a goal line blitz in everybody in a situation where it's like 2nd and 10 on the whole other side of the field. So having this off, I feel like balances it, but what makes it where you get at least variety of play call is putting the play call limit to 20 plays that can be called. That's the same. So I have this at 20. You can experiment and move this around. I was thinking about doing that, but I mean, at the same time, things have looked great, as you can see in the RFL, man. Games, the play calling and things. I mean, of course, there's Madden, sometimes you get the wonky play calling, but things have played out great. So I have no issue with that. All of this, that's all to your preference. We got the breakout scenario thing on, and then with our X factor abilities and stuff like that, we just got that at default. But this is another major change this year. So if you guys saw early in the year, we did have our quarter lengths of 15 minutes as we've always had in the RFL, but for this year it's at 14 because I don't know what Madden did, but something changed to where they've got more they got seconds not being ran off the clock with the minimum play clock. So that ended up resulting in kind of like college games where you're getting like 140 plus plays a game, which we already know in the NFL pro setting, that's not the case. You get around 120. And from multiple tests, I found the perfect spot for the right amount of play calls in the game to be around 14 minutes. So it's the first time we've ever had to cut down the quarter length. to 14 minutes and the play clock at 13 seconds. So this will tremendously make sure that you have more realistic games in terms of the amount of plays in a game. This is big time, so you want to make sure that you set your settings to this. Of course, have the accelerated clock on so you get down to those 13 seconds, but this has worked like a charm for us this year. And everything else still right here is up to you guys, preferences on what you guys want to do. So yeah, let me go ahead and move on to well, I think that's just about it, man. Yeah, sliders, you literally got everything at default. Everything's at default. Did not change anything. The game on next gen played better. You know, unfortunately, we do have injuries down to 25 though. Okay, but yeah, looking at this, guys, you know, everything's at default. Next gen gameplay, to me, I think has played well, and we've seen that this season. It's played out well. Quarterback accuracy has been great. The one thing that I was talking about with the quarterback accuracy, which we got lower percentages, which is what we've always wanted in the RFL, man, was for realistic lower percentages with quarterbacks throwing in the 60s, no matter how good they are, because that's just realistic quarterback play. But one thing we are looking into, and you can test this out for yourself, but we have not done this in the league, or we don't know. We'll have to see, but let's just go on the Red Dragons for one. Looks like Anthony Savoy got an upgrade, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, it is the trait, okay? So we go ahead and get a look at this trait here of Anthony Savoy, and this is on all the quarterbacks in the RFL. This could be the reason why the quarterbacks throw the ball away extremely early, is because you got the throw ball away trait on, which triggers them to throw the ball away, which, you know, in prior Maddens we desperately needed and just never happened. In this Madden, you definitely see it working, but you know, a theory to test is it working too much? Is guys just immediately throwing the ball away at any sign of pressure? Who knows? But that's the only other thing we still haven't really worked on yet. We've just recently started talking about that not too long ago, as Coach Nicholson brought that up. But yeah, that's pretty much all it is for this video, man. You guys got the league settings. Really was nothing too much to add at all this year. The big key component this year is just definitely going with the play clock at 13 seconds with 14-minute games for each quarter. You know, so yeah, that's going to do it for me. It's your boy Smitty, RFL Commissioner and play-by-play commentator, and I'll see you guys next time. Let me know how these slider sets, well, I guess the setting set works for you guys, and yeah, I'll see you guys later.